Hello, good evening, guys. How you doing? What is happening tonight? Camille, nice roll. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. How is everybody? I need to think for 1 second. Where the hell am I going to put these? One second. I get two little magnets. I just want to put somewhere safe. Alright, cool. Would you abuse custom voices if you had a voice mod? I don't know what custom voices is, but good evening, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to do something slightly different tonight. We are going to be, I'm going to be making a friggin' Landspeeder. I've had this, honestly, for forever? Years? Probably like 2 or 3 years. I've just never felt the need to make it. I guess with the attack bike nerfs, I suppose I should get the instructions out. I'm not sure I'll need them. But with the attack bike nerfs, I guess I gotta make a Landspeeder. I'm probably gonna buy a Landspeeder Storm as well, to be honest. Because the Landspeeder Storm comes without flank as well, which is pretty cool, right? No, the sprue parts don't even have numbers. This is an old kit, I guess. But Camille, thank you so much. We need more Assault Terminators and more Sanguinary Guard. Yeah, I mean, we do need. I have some Sanguinary Guard that I've just started painting off here. I will get to them tonight if the Landspeeder doesn't take too long to make. I honestly don't know how it'll take to make this Landspeeder or how flimsy it will be. Money was on the hot tub stream. Unfortunately, no hot tub tonight for me. I can't remember the last time I was in a hot tub, actually. But good evening, DTM. How you guys doing? And I do want to talk about the new rules as well. I have them up on my other screen for the Gravis fighting styles. Well, let's wait a little while. Let's get a few more people in here, and then we'll talk about Gravis fighting styles. And we'll see what people think of them. I have my opinions, but you guys know me. I'm opinionated, and I'll tell you exactly how I feel about it, good or bad. So be ready for that. Good evening, Highland Phoenix. Looking at Blood Angels Commander Element Games linked Landspeeders right now. Sick. We had someone went big on Element Games this week and spent like £250 using my referral code. Whoever that was is always super appreciated when somebody does that. It's kind of like I don't know, it's kind of just like a really nice little boost that you get from having the channel sometimes when someone goes big on Element Games. So thank you. I'm sure you know who you are. You should fill the hot tub with beer. Why are you guys making it weird? I mean, the main thing that I do on the channel that's weird is I drink whiskey. I love whiskey. Do you know what? These old sprues without numbers on them are a fucking nightmare. I'm like 2 seconds in, I'm like, what part is that? Like, where is that? The control panel? Is that this part? I guess? We don't know how easy we have it now with all the sprues having numbers on them. So this goes like this? Say what? Like this? Surely not, because then the controls are underneath the... That would make no sense. Wow. There's got to be like that, and then there's a gap there? Wow, we didn't think this was going to be this difficult. Okay, I'm stumped already. No, Chris, I'm going to chat about Gravis once a few more people get into the stream. I figure like once we get up to like, well, we're at 24 viewers. Once we get up to like 30 or 40, we can chat Gravis and we can do questions and we can get everyone's opinions on what was released today or what was, I guess it's the new data sheets for the Gravis Captain, but I mean in some ways, I guess that's going to affect the data sheets for the older Gravis Captain as well, right? I would assume it would affect the older Gravis Captain sheets as well, so we'll talk about all that and we can see what people want to say. I've tweaked my list to have 2 Sanguinary Guard units, but now we need to make more Sanguinary Guard. Yeah, I mean, I've got like 30 Sanguinary Guard and I'm always making more because I'm an idiot and I didn't magnetize them in the first place, Highland Phoenix, so I guess that's on me for literally being an idiot, right? Somebody bought some used Landspeeders so they didn't have to build them again. That actually seems like a pretty legit idea, because I'm not sure how I feel about this Landspeeder, to be completely honest. Well, I mean, how I feel about it is... Has anyone bought a Landspeeder recently? Do they have a better kit now? Do you get numbers on them? Thoughts on over 100 viewers consistent on Monday night? I thought it was awesome that so many people came and watched the game on Monday night. I just wish I could have done better for Blood Angels, because Monday night was a fucking slaughter. Custodes seem to have a counter for everything we want to do, you know, like, we want to do some rerolls? No. We want to do +1 to wound? No. And also just they fucking save everything, like fire 7 multi-meltas, do 1 damage or something, like, ugh. On another day though, Highland Phoenix, right? Like, you know, Andrew made a lot of saves against key weapons. on another day, maybe he's not so lucky, you know? Like, this is the thing with something like Custodes, when their whole army is saving on like a really solid save. If you roll hot, you don't lose anything, and God, those bikes were obnoxious. I think Steel Rain said that he did Steel Rain did Math Hammer using like a 10-man death company into those bikes, and he said that even with like Savage Echoes and stuff, he only would kill like 3 bikes. So I mean, the bikes are just very strong. I think giving them +1 wound is huge, because before 2 damage weapons were good against them, now 2 damage weapons are not good against them. So I mean, I guess take that as what you want from that, but like, so 2 damage weapons aren't good against Custodes, which we have a lot of 2 damage weapons. Rerolls aren't good. +1 to wound isn't good. It's rough. I magnetize mine, but I always have to build more. Yeah, I mean, I don't know when I'll finish my army. At some point, I've been wanting to do this for a while actually, but like, it's so difficult. Like, see, before I had the 2 kids, I would probably spend like 10 or 12 hours a week on the YouTube videos that I put up on Friday, like my tactics videos. Like, I would spend 2 or 3 nights on them. I would just spend a lot of time just getting them to a point where like I was happy with them, and I felt like they're really good videos. Now, the last few weeks, just because this new baby is like still super young, and they say that the first 3 months of having a new baby is the hardest time, and you know, I've gone through it once, and it is fucking hard when you have a new baby, because they don't know what night or day is, so they're just up. Like an hour ago before the stream, I was like so tired. I had to go drink some coffee at like 9:30 at night, just because otherwise I'd just like fall asleep. Yeah, so at the moment I feel like still rushed, trying to get a video out every week. I do have a pretty cool video coming out tomorrow, hopefully. You guys will enjoy it, but I haven't, you know, I've been going from like 10 hours a week every video that I make down to like 6, because like I just don't have the time. So at some point, once this kid is sleeping a little bit better, I really want to do like an updated channel trailer video of Highland Phoenix that shows like everything that I've got, because the last one I did now was like 15 months, and you know, like I've been painting stuff and making stuff and for 15 more months. So like, I have a lot of models now, but it feels like I never run out of things to do. But isn't that the way of this hobby? DTM says in general, I'd say Marines of all varieties need to move forward. More close combat and less shooting. We won't be winning any shootouts with Tower Elder, so we need more speedy chop chop. We'll get 37 people in here, so give it a few more minutes and we'll talk about the new Gravis styles, right? Because that is going to be exactly what you said, DTM. Marines are going to be able to do a little bit more chop chop, it sounds like. And the rumor that I've heard is that there is going to be like a refresh of the Space Marine Codex, and I think hopefully this Gravis fighting style is the first thing. I mean, there's other problems with Gravis, and we'll get into that in a minute. Let me take some more questions from the chat. Chris Catherwood says, I've gotten pretty good with an X-Acto knife and a saw, and a few times cut arms off Death Company to optimize weapons. Yeah, I mean, it's worth getting good with like a hobby knife so you can magnetize even after you've built them the first time round. Steel Rain's in the house. Good evening, Steel Rain. How you doing? A legend within the Blood Angels community, Steel Rain. Christian says, I've pondered the Monday battle. Andrew's home field was wide open to attack. Andrew's home field was wide open to attack, sure, but like, what would it have achieved? You know, like if I'd gone in on those custodian guardians at the back and killed them. Let's say I deep strike my Terminators, Christian, into his custodian guardians, and I killed a squad of them. My Terminators are then going to get shot by 8 Melta guns, because those bikes are obnoxious with their 14-inch move. So, I mean, a Melta's -4. He's hitting on 2s, he's able to reroll 1 hit, so let's say he makes like 5 hits. He's then able to reroll 1 wound, and he's wounding on 2s, so it's probably gonna like be 4 or 5 wounds. So he's gonna, and it's D3 plus 3, so he's instantly gonna evaporate 2 of my Terminators. I'm probably gonna take the ones with lightning claws to try and hang on to the guys with the storm shields. But he's instantly gonna vaporize 2 Terminators. And then right after that, he's going to be able to charge the remaining Terminators with like 20 attacks, and like they're all damage 2 shit. So like, even if I went after the home field in that Custodians game, I don't know how it helps me. I think I have to kill the bikes. Like, when I've fought Custodes before and I've beaten them before a bunch of times, like, the bikes are the most obnoxious thing. You have to get rid of the bikes. I mean, those Contemptor Dreadnoughts are super nasty as well, because they get like 10 damage 3 shots, and then in combat they get like D3 plus 3. So, I mean, those things are really nasty as well. But like, I really think that the bikes have to die. I think you can't win the game with those bikes zooming around, you know, like with no pressure on them, I guess. Like, I just don't think you can win the game because the bikes will do too much damage. They will kill too much of your stuff. But I mean, I'm all for pondering the game and you know, talking about how like maybe things could have gone differently. I have not built an attack bike for forever, and I definitely haven't built one where the instructions are so bad. I'm just dry fitting some of this right now to see how the hell this is actually supposed to stick on. I imagine that the door is supposed to be... Is that supposed to be the door? Or is that hole there, maybe? Is that how it's supposed to go? This doesn't fit particularly well. I just want to throw that out there. Like, is that how it's supposed to go? Like, that really doesn't feel like it fits well. Let me get another couple of questions from the chat. 2 damage is good for nearly everything now. Is not good for nearly everything now. Yeah, you're 100% right. 2 damage now kind of sucks. That's why I've started running Thunderhammer Terminators, and like I mean, I like the Thunderhammer Terminators in general. I like the fact they can get a 0-up save, which can help a lot against like -1s and -2s. Babies are loud and screaming aliens until they turn 6 months old. Yeah, that's pretty much right, Science Dad. Good evening. Good evening, Andrew Nutter. How you doing? Fatherhood is I've got 5, 3 teens and 2 babies. Well, you need to learn about protection, dude, because I ain't having 5. I'll never get another YouTube video uploaded if I have 5 kids. We have this amazing Crusade League going on right now with like 50 people and slowly escalating power matches and a big hex grid map that each faction can take territory and stuff. That sounds cool, Brad. Maybe we should do a Crusade on the channel at some times. Are Assault Terminators not better than Gravis? Well, we've got 47 people in the house now, so let's have a look at some Gravis stuff, shall we? Have you done any Crusade? No, I haven't played Crusade at all yet. I've been focusing on... I focus on... What do I focus on? Competitive play, sorry. It's late. I'm tired. But yeah, no, I 100% focus on competitive, so I haven't done any Crusade whatsoever yet. More melta guns against the bikes. I had like 7 multi-meltas in that list. Like, I had a lot of multi-meltas that were... Well, in one turn I fired like 2 Inferno Pistols, a multi-melta off a Landspeeder, a multi-melta off a Dreadnought, a Storm Cannon... Sorry, a Grav Flux Bombard, a Volkite Charger. There's definitely some other shooting in there as well. Landspeeder, why Blood Angels need this? Because it's got the vehicle keyword, and engage on all fronts is going to be a lot harder to score now. Good evening, Robert. How are you doing? 10-man Assault Intercessors are decent in the current meta. Thunderhammer and the Sergeant. Yeah, but I mean, how do you deliver 10-man Assault Intercessors across the board, Podger? Like, you can't take it in, or Pulsar. It's too many points. The old Gravis Captain had a master-crafted power sword. It'll be interesting to know if the Gravis Captain can take one and still get the extra attacks. Yes, so let's look at Gravis, and that is a good question. So if there's any questions about Gravis, throw them out right now. But this is what was released today. So free data sheets for your Space Marines. These were going to be in that new Vigilus campaign book, but they've released them for free, which is pretty cool, I guess. I don't know if they'll be available in the app yet, but there's just a couple of changes here, right? Whereas, like, this Gravis Captain, I was looking at him before, and like, let me just pull it up so we're all on the same page, and then we can discuss the changes, and then I'll get back to building this Landspeeder. It feels weird to be building a Landspeeder because it's just like, I don't even know if I want this, but I feel like I need it because it was so difficult to score engage on all fronts, I felt like, this week. Alright, let me see if I can put this somewhere we can all see it. Yeah. Okay, so Gravis Captain before... Oh, shit. He has the Boltstorm Gauntlet, which is 18 pistol 3. He also has a Boltstorm Gauntlet he can use in melee, but unfortunately it's 2 damage. Like I said, 2 damage is not very good. Why on earth would you equip him with a Power Fist? Because you don't get any extra attacks and it's got the exact same profile, or has this been updated after? Alright, oh sorry, this has already been updated. So you can have a Power Fist or a Power Sword. But there is also another Gravis Captain, right? There is the Gravis Captain who has a Mastercrafted Heavy Bolt Rifle, right? Because he's a Gravis Captain as well, and he's only 105 points. So he's still got the same 5 toughness. Steel Rain, thank you so much. Big long-time member here in Steel Rain. What do you think about the Death Company with 5 or 6 Infernal Pistols? I like Infernal, like someone said to me before, Infernal Pistols and Power Fists is an option on the Death Company. If you don't come up against -1 damage weapons, then it's pretty interesting. It's the same 15 points as a Thunderhammer, and obviously an Infernal Pistol can do a lot of damage. I guess here's the thing, and we know this about fighting against Custodes, right? If you're trying to beat Custodes, you need weight of fire, and what I mean by that is you need like lots of shots to punch through their invulnerable saves. And I think on Monday night, I showed that like my list has like eight multi-melta shots in it in a turn, and 8 shots is not enough, because with a little bit of luck, and especially with them transhumaning, so you're only wounding them on 4s, you're only getting 8 shots, maybe you hit 6 of them, they transhuman, so you only actually wound on 3 of them, and then they save a couple of them, and they only have to take damage from 1 multi-melta. So a weakness in my list, I guess, is that I have like a lot of multi-melta shots, but maybe not so much. Like I don't have any assault cannons, I didn't have any onslaught cannons, so that, I mean, in some ways there's something to be said about having dreadnoughts with onslaught cannons, or even stormbolters. You know, you hit them with enough stormbolters, I guess you could make them. So I like Infernal Pistols both in the Death Company and the Sanguinary Guard. You know I like them in the Sanguinary Guard, but yes, Custodes are just a tough army to take, and if you were unlucky like I was, where I had like eight Beltagons and didn't kill a single bike, then you're gonna really struggle, right? Like I could have, you know, I don't think I killed a bike, and I think I did 1 wound to a dreadnought or something. It was a terrible shooting phase, and that happens. But even if it was a good shooting phase, like that game, those bikes, that's so difficult to kill. A 10-man Death Company with a bunch of Infernal Pistols, since they're cheaper, and I'm already running Astrath, could help with things like Custodes. Yeah, I mean, the one issue about the running Death Company now, the one issue I find with the one issue that's gonna come up from running Death Company, right, is that on a certain map in the new chapter approved, you're not able to do the pre-game move from the Death Company. So if you're relying on Death Company to put pressure on early and do Forlorn Fury, you're potentially not going to be able to do that in chapter approved 2022, which is going to be... That's why I'm not sure that 2 points reduction changes anything for the Death Company, because the reason to take the Death Company, I feel like, is to do that early game pressure. If you can't do it, I don't know. A bunch of Infernal Pistols over a Thunderhammers, though, is questionable, I guess. Like, Infernal Pistols are kind of one-shot wonders, and I think a game on Monday showed that you shoot them, and sometimes you kill something, and sometimes you don't. Whereas, like, if you hit something with a bunch of Thunderhammers, you're always going to kill a bunch of stuff, right? So, Infernal Pistols and Death Company, I think, is an okay choice. I mean, maybe I could get on board with doing like 3 Infernal Pistols and 3 Thunderhammers in a 10-man squad, but I don't know if I would. I think somebody once submitted a list to me with like 10 Infernal Pistols in the Death Company. What? No Forlorn Fury yet? That's the thing. There's a map in the new chapter approved that prevents all pre-game movement into no man's land. So yeah, you wouldn't be able to Forlorn Fury your Death Company on that map, which I think is strange. There's, you know, it's like every single update we get something that counters us. It's like our best units do 2 damage, so half the fucking stuff you fight now is -1 damage. Our best units need rerolls. Well, you can't use rerolls. We need a Forlorn Fury Death Company. Well, you can't do Forlorn Fury because on this map which you could end up playing at a really critical point in a tournament, you're not allowed to use a pre-game move that ends you in no man's land. You can pre-game move around your deployment zone. Infernal Pistols are just a single shot, so right, so you've got this you've got this Captain in Gravis armor, right? Who's got toughness 5. And he is Gravis. So you would think, by the rules we're about to look at, he is going to get Gravis fighting styles as well. But so this one, so you get 105 points, you get a Captain with a Mastercrafted Heavy Bolt Rifle who also has a Mastercrafted Power Sword. And I guess he's got 6 attacks, or 5, plus 1 from charging, plus 1 from Savage Echoes, potentially 7, right? You also have the previous Gravis Captain, I guess, who's 120 points now, and he uses Boltstorm Gauntlet. His default loadout is he's just got the Boltstorm Gauntlet and the Chainsword. This is the new one. Hold on, is the old one in this data sheet? Captain, Gravis Captain, or maybe it's just one data sheet for both now. All right, let me go back to the official website. I'm gonna close this. So. And I pulled up here, yeah. Let me see if this fits okay in the screen. Yeah, this fits okay. And let me make it a bit bigger. I need to just pull it out here. Right. So, Captain and Gravis armor. Toughness 5, attacks 5, 7 wounds, right? Power level 6. He's got the Boltstorm Gauntlet, and his default is the Chainsword, but the Boltstorm Gauntlet is essentially a Power Fist, right? He's got what he had before, a 4-up save, rerolls within 6 for core, but he's got this new thing called Gravis Fighting Styles. If this model is equipped with a Chainsword, each time the bearer attacks, they make 2 additional attacks with that weapon for a maximum of 3. And what I think it means by for a maximum of 3 is that the Chainsword gives +1 attacks, so you get another 2 attacks for a maximum of 3. So on the charge with Savage Echoes, this guy gets 10 attacks. Because it's 5 plus 1 from Savage Echoes, plus 1 from Shock Assault, plus 3 from the Chainsword. Correct me if I'm wrong at any point here. He can also be equipped with a Power Fist instead of his Chainsword. Or a Power Sword instead of the Chainsword. The Power Fist is a weird one for me because the Power Fist has the exact same profile as the Boltstorm Gauntlet, right? But then down here it says if the model is equipped with a Power Sword, each time the bearer fights, you can make 2 additional attacks. So you can do your 9 attacks with strength, you can do 10 attacks with -1 damage Chainsword. Or if you took a Power Sword, which is obviously -3, which is a lot more attractive than -1, you could do your 5 attacks, 1 from charging, 1 from Savage Echoes, 2 more because it's Power Swords. You get 9 attacks. So 9 attacks on a Power Sword, or 7 attacks, 9 attacks on the Power Sword or 10 attacks on the Chainsword. Power Sword is also +1 strength, so if you're going to hit like toughness 4 stuff or even toughness 5 stuff, you're also going to make a much easier wound roll there. So I think for me, I would take the Power Sword over the Chainsword. As cool as the Chainsword is, I would take the Power Sword. Now I know if he's got a Chainsword, you could replace that with the Teeth of Terra, which would essentially give him 10 attacks, but I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad to have a character that's got 10 attacks. If you do replace the Chainsword with a Power Fist, if this model equipped with a Power Fist, each time the bear fights, it can make 1 additional attack with that weapon. So I guess if you replace it with a Power Fist, then you would be able to do your normal 7 attacks with a Boltstorm Gauntlet, and you could do 1 attack with a Power Fist, so you would essentially get an extra 8 attacks, or you'd get 8 attacks total. Excuse me, I've still got a little bit of a sore throat here. This ability cannot be used with Relic, which replaces any of these weapons. So if you wanted to give him Teeth of Terror or something, you lose all of your Gravis fighting styles. So I guess this is sort of rules to generally just boost the melee capabilities of units in Gravis. Now, we don't know if this is going to affect any units in Gravis. You know, like, is it going to affect just, like, if I want to take some aggressors? Are they going to get +1 attack? Are they going to be able to do better? I guess all we know is what's on the status sheet. And all we are hoping for is some sort of improvements to Marines in the near future, right? Because, like, we've been... I think we've seen in a few of the games that I've played recently that Marines are in a tough place. Like, you know, I beat that list Andrew ran with the Orcs a bunch of times, but, like, it was so tough. Do you think it's a boost to this guy specifically? Because Games Workshop decided to model him with 2 different weapons. But I mean, here's the thing with this guy, right? He doesn't have the master-crafted power sword like the other Gravis Captain, so that's a little bit annoying. I mean, I guess it would maybe be broken if he had 9 attacks with the master-crafted power sword. I mean, that would be pretty good for 120 points. But the problem I find with this guy is if he runs into anything that's -1 damage, and like I keep saying, there's so much -1 damage around, he's going to do a lot less damage. He's not going to be great. Even if you've put power fist on him, he's not going to be great against -1 damage stuff, right? And then the other thing that I have problems with Gravis is that how the fuck do you deliver your Gravis units across the board, right? As like I know they can't go in impulsors because impulsors specifically state they can't take Gravis. Where's dedicated transports? But can they go in? Not that anyone runs them. Is there a repulsor not a dedicated transport? I thought it was. Was it in heavy support? Repulsor. I thought that repulsor was a dedicated transport. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's heavy support. It doesn't really matter. This model can take. Oh, so it can Okay, so you can put Gravis in a repulsor, but the problem, so that's the only model you can put them inside because they won't go in. Yeah, it specifically says that impulsors cannot transfer Gravis, so you can only put Gravis in your repulsors. You could put 5 models in there because each one takes up 2 slots. I think you're maybe wrong, Brad. I think it says this should be 5. Yeah, you're saying it's 5. So you could put 5 Gravis models in here, but I do not like the repulsor. If you can play it to Land Raider, like there's 1 less on its armor save, and it's got no invulnerable save. I don't like it. Like I have a repulsor and I never run it. It's so confused with all the guns it's got on it as well. Like it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's all over the place, the repulsor. I ran it a couple of times at the start of 9th or something. So, is someone taking a 300 point Gravis or repulsor to get some Gravis units across the board? I like the idea of mastercrafting the gauntlet. You could do it via the relic or Artisan of War. I don't think that would interfere with the styles and gives you a power sword plus a Thunderhammer equivalent. I'm with you on that, Turkey Bastard, but I don't think you can take... Oh right, so you'd have the power sword for 9 attacks, or you'd have the mastercrafted Bolt Storm Gauntlet for 3 damage, and you would get, what, 7 attacks? I mean, that would be good. I like that, Turkey Bastard. But I don't know... I still don't know how you deliver the Gravis units, because... Jeff is running in a repulsor. I will shut up. Jeff, tell us how you run this repulsor. I honestly thought no one was running repulsors. Thermos says that generally speaking, if you're using a transport that's more expensive than the models, then that's a bad idea. And yeah, I mean, that transport is definitely going to be more expensive than the models, Themos. Like, that transport is 300 points. Even if you put a squad of aggressors in with this character, like 3 aggressors. Actually, maybe you could put in 4 aggressors. That'd be 160, and the character would be another 120. You could get, like, you could get, what? Oh, don't do this to me. Okay, I was going to say, I think my glue's... I honestly don't know where to put the glue in this thing. These old kits are a bit random. Good evening, Rizio. How you doing? Sorry I didn't say hello when you came in. The Gravis guy is potentially good in Raven Guard. You can forward deploy him with some Assault Terminators, with one Warlord trait, Advance and Charge. Yeah, I mean, how do we... Does anyone in chat feel like they are going to run this Gravis Captain for Blood Angels? I mean, you could reserve him, 6 power level. Ironhad's used Teeth of Mars on the Gravis Captain for a Strength 8 Chainsword attack. He's slow as hell and he's got no teleport strike. Even a Terminator Captain seems more useful. I would recommend putting the glue where the different parts touch. Thanks, Spiderwing. That is so... I will remember that. Put the glue where the different parts touch. Nice. Well, I mean, I've done it. Look, the glue was where the legs touched. So, appreciate that, buddy. You sarcastic. I might buy this model. Apparently it comes out for pre-order on Saturday. I mean, I wonder if we could make him look quite cool. Would we paint him fully gold? Because my other Gravis Captain I painted in red, but this guy, I might, you know, it might be fun to paint him in gold. I do some of my characters in gold. I mean, I guess if you give him armor and Dominus, he has, what, 8 wounds and a 2-up save? I mean, you could give him Angel's Artifice to get toughness 6 on him. I guess he can get transhuman, which is an advantage. I guess Gift of Foresight, yeah. Armor and Dominus. Okay, so Gravis fighting styles is potentially a new thing coming. I wonder if we got more fighting styles for other models, then we could maybe actually start seeing some real fun for our chapter, because I feel like where we are right now, Space Marines, I would say we're a little weaker than some of our counterparts. So if we see, so the big rumor as well is that there is going to be a Space Marine 2.0 Codex, right? Like some sort of Space Marine refresh, like halfway through this year or this edition. Melee Jump Pack Gravis would be Pog for us, yeah. I think that Jump Pack Gravis would be really, really nice. And Brett's in the house, and Brett Anderson is awesome, and I need to tell you something that me and Brett Anderson are setting up in the next few weeks. But let's talk about the Primaris Ancient then. So previously the Primaris Ancient, I believe, just had a bolt rifle. And now you can get a power sword, and I guess that's going to cost you, what does it say the points cost? 5 points to take a power sword on the Ancient. The Ancient's kind of lackluster in my opinion. We rated him pretty badly in the tier list. We said, I hate the banner ability. +1 to leadership, it's fine. It's not strong, it's fine. And then if a model dies on a roll of d6, do not remove the model. It can either make one final attack in melee, or it can make one final shooting attack. I think if you want to run an Ancient, you're better off running the Sangre Ancient for us, just because the Sangre Ancient, his banner is better. His banner can give what is it, like +1 to hit to a squad within 6 in the command phase. Yep. How does it? Yeah, chapter banner. So he gets this extra ability, the Sangre Ancient. In your command phase, select one friendly Blood Angel's core within 6. Each time this model makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. So I think if you're running an Ancient for Blood Angels, you probably just want to run this guy. I mean, what's he got? He's got 1 less wound. He's got 1 better on the save. He obviously has a much better movement. He obviously has better weapon because he's got the Jealous Bolt Gun, and he carries the sword or the axe. So that's sword and the axe are both better than power swords because they're 2 damage. And I guess if he's -1 to hit in melee as well, and also if he's ever within 6 of your warlord, he gets +1 to hit to put him on a 2-up weapon skill. And ballistic skill, I guess, right? So I don't think this guy is that attractive to us. I mean, he's better than the one that was there before that only had the bolt rifle. What do you think of this guy being a Death Company captain? I mean, I think it would be cool, but I mean, I guess you'd have to put him into strategic reserve, because it's going to take you 3 turns to run across the board at 5 inches movement, you know? That's the thing I don't like about him. At least he has a power sword. Yeah, he's better than he was, but the Sangreal Ancient is by far better than this guy. The 30 points more that you have to pay, or I guess just 25 points now. Yeah, 25 points. You get a better sword, you get a better gun, you get the ability to give a unit +1 to hit, you get more mobility, and you're just better in combat because you can do 2 damage and you're -1 to hit. So that to me, that seems worth 25 points. Sure, you lose a wound. But because you can move around 12 inches like that, you can fly and you can dodge shit. Okay. So that's what's been released today. Or that's what's been announced today, sort of, for Space Marines. So it's not horrible. Don't know if it's... I don't know if I would say it's great, but it's certainly not horrible. As a Blood Angel, like Blood Angels, we do better if you give us more attacks. That's kind of what we're always after, right? That was one of the things I was saying in one of my streams. I was like, it's funny that Blood Angels don't have any stratagems that give units more attacks or something like that. We have Unleash Rage on like our Psychic, but it's not like a flat extra number of attacks. It's like on 6s you might get an extra hit or something like that, right? So I don't understand how this bit is supposed to go to this bit. What's this supposed to just stick in like that? Oh yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. Okay, now I understand. Wow, these old sprues, I've kind of massacred this a little bit as well. I wonder if I've got some sandpaper or a nail file. Oh, I've got a nail file here as well. Forlorn Fury for 5 inches, says Spiderwing. No, so Steel Rain, sorry. I just thought that was Spiderwing because he was being so sarcastic earlier. I thought he was like, Forlorn Fury, that guy for 5 inches. That's you, Steel Rain. Okay. I mean, 1 CP to get him 5 inches forward so you can get... I mean, it might be worth it. It might be. What variety of speeder are you building? The very basic one. I think the 70-point version that's just gonna... This is an old kit, so this kit's got like all the bits for like the Typhoon, and it's got missiles, and it's got assault cannons and heavy flamers, but I think I'm just building the cheap and cheerful one with the multi-melt on it because I might have to buy a couple of speeders this edition to get things to fit, I guess, because... So I played a game on Monday night, the first game I played with Chapter Approved 2022, and normally I would say on Engage on All Fronts, I normally score pretty decent on Engage on All Fronts. I'd say I normally score anywhere between 8 and 12 points reliably every game. I scored 0 points on Monday night on Engage on All Fronts, and I guess that's because the changes of all fronts mean characters can't do all fronts. Models with less than 3 guys alive can't do all fronts, so all fronts got quite a lot more difficult to score points in. Nathan says finally building a Landspeeder. Yeah, I've been using attack bikes for way too long. Don't get me started on how much we've been nerfed from the last codex. Remember Red Rampage gave plus D3 attacks for a character that charged? Yeah, and the way I used to do it was Awoken Sheep, was I used to have like a Death Company character who had like 7 attacks with a Thunderhammer, and then you would play Red Rampage on them to give them the D3, so you could get basically 10 or 11 attacks, and then you could pay 3 CP and fight again, so you get like 22 attacks with like a 4 damage Thunderhammer in a single turn. I saw like I would have like 100-point captain take out a knight in a single turn. It was good times in 8th edition, I guess. But yeah, they really. I mean, that was overpowered, sure. If you had like a 120 point character take out like a 500 point knight in a single round of combat, you just had to burn like 3 or 4 CP. But at the same time, I think they went way too hard on the Blood Angels nerfs. And then they buffed everybody else, didn't they? Good evening, Dracula. What's good tonight? Rip Mega Hero Hammer, says Thermos. I made a couple of... I used to actually run my list with like multiple Smash captains, and it was so much fun. Do you know what? This is actually coming together kind of nicely now. Like, the bits are actually... I think there's going to be some holes on it. Like, it feels like there's going to be a giant hole here. Because that really doesn't fit together. And I have not built a lance. Should I put the top bit on first? If I put the top bit on, like that. These side bits just don't really fit. They just don't fit. If you get them lined up there, then there's just like a giant fucking gap down here. Like, look at this. Like, how are you... Is there just a giant gap and you just have to deal with it? Is that how it works? Oh, right, it snaps in. Wow, okay. I'm not going to be able to get that out now, am I? How did I even get that in there? Fucking hell. Okay, this is a weird kit. People miss the old Red Rampage. Yeah, me too. Me too. I wouldn't mind them taking it away from us if, like, the other chapters got a bunch of stuff taken away from them, or the other codexes, but like, I don't know. My video tomorrow is very much going to talk about chapter approved and my thoughts around that. Because I do have a lot of thoughts around that. Do you know what? This actually does fit. It's just super awkward to get it to fit. And then once you get it to fit, I don't know how I'm gluing this thing. Well, I mean, Spiderwing said put the glue in the bits that attach together. Yeah, I mean, I got that. If I put that on first, though, is that gonna cause problems? Do I need to put this top bit on first? Shit, I should have tested that. Didn't people used to use a vice to glue these things? Yeah, maybe. It's like you have to... I don't even know how I got that on before. It's like you have to slide that under or something. Yeah, like that. And then this one goes like that. Yeah. And then will this go on the top? Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, that'll work. That's just so dodgy, so weird. Alright, I think I know where I need to glue. Glue the sides first, then the top down. Okay. 2 litanies are useless for us, as one was anti-synergy, just let them stack. Yeah, I mean, like, they really didn't need to do that, did they? They really didn't need to make Canticle of Hate not stack with Red Rampage. I mean, or Red Thirst. They kind of did that with the Sanguinor as well. Remember, like, the Sanguinor's +1 attack doesn't stack with, like, doesn't stack with Shock Assault. It's like, why? Why? That was the best thing about the Sanguinor, the fact that he gave an extra attack, because he doesn't give any rerolls. So his strength was that he gave an extra attack, and yeah, they just took it away. I was really I really felt a little bit weird about the Sanguinor, because I like him. I used to run the Sanguinor as my warlord in 8th edition all the time. He was my 8th edition warlord. Am I considering the new Gravis Captain at all? Chris, we just spent about half an hour, Chris Robb, talking about the Gravis Captain. Yeah, I mean, type the number 1 in chat if you're going to buy and use the Gravis Captain, and if you don't like him, type the number 2 in chat. But I think that we felt that, like, he's okay, but how do you deliver him? That's fine, you missed it, no worries. Like, how do you get him across the board? I mean, Steel Rain came up with the idea of Forlorn Furying 5 inches. So, I mean, that's it. Alright, so we got 4 people say he's not good. Themos is going to use him in 500 point games. 7 people say he's not good. Dave also says he's bad. Turkey Bastard is just trolling us. But yeah, I mean, so... it sounds like people don't really like the Gravis Captain, I guess. Like, as a... okay, let me rephrase the question then. Do people like Gravis fighting styles as an idea to maybe give Gravis units more attacks? Like, let's say they introduce this Gravis fighting style so aggressors could get +1 attacks. Do people like that? Do you think any other... do we think any other models might get fighting styles, or we just think it's purely aggressors here? But yeah, I guess the chat is pretty much in unison. Cheers for building the best speeder, John. Yeah, no worries. I've had the speeder for way too long. I don't know, I just previously liked attack bikes, I guess. If I'd known how difficult it was been, I might have built it off stream, because I think I look like a complete idiot right now. Can't even get the side of a speeder to stick on. I can't figure it out. I got the other one on, but I don't really know how we got it on. I feel like it has to go underneath or something. I should have dry fitted this side, because I'm just going to spread glue everywhere. There we go. Can I get this back bit to stick? There we go. Yeah, that isn't the easiest thing to do, is it? Did I put glue there? No, I don't think I did. I like the look of him. I'll probably buy him, but I won't use him that much. Yeah, I think I like the look of him as well. But when did this start? About an hour ago. I always stream about an hour earlier from now on a Thursday night. I don't always stream. Like next week we're doing a not plastic crackheads. Next week we're doing a 3 Grots video on Thursday night, but usually about an hour earlier from now, either on here or either over on the 3 Grots channel. Thursday night is usually a night that I do some Warhammer in some shape or form. Bladeguard veterans are tankier. Losing out on some shooting doesn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, Bladeguard veterans are tankier, I would guess, probably because of the storm shields, but if all your Gravis units now got +1 to attack, does that change anything? You know, like, are aggressors with power fists a lot more exciting if you get +1 attack? I mean, I feel like you're still going to suffer because of all the -1 damage stuff around, but I think it is slightly better, right? As long as there isn't some stupid rule that's like, by the way, Blood Angels don't get the +1 attack, it doesn't stack with Savage Echoes or Shock Assault or something. But I don't think they're going to do that right now, because I think that where Blood Angels are is kind of in a tough spot, honestly. Like, if you look at the tournament results for Blood Angels recently, they've definitely not been stellar, right? It's my birthday in 3 minutes, says Awoken Sheep. Well, happy birthday, Awoken Sheep. How old are you going to be, brother? You must be in Europe if it's in 3 minutes, because you're like an hour ahead of UK time, right? 4++ against Immortals on the Indomitus Captain is good too. That's from the Relic Shield, is it? I'm going to buy a second attack bike. Sorry, I'm going to buy a second Landspeeder. I still have attack bikes on the brain, I guess. So now that I've done this, I can put doors on this thing. I think I'm just going to use the solid doors rather than the open doors. I think that'll just be easier to paint in the long run. Why can't we have an Inceptor style unit with swords or claws? I mean, I think jump Primaris units are coming, Jim. I've thought that they were coming for a long time. I think if they do come, they might come for... I think they might come with like a standard assault squad type loadout first. But I would hope after that they would really address the Blood Angels. Because I feel like we've really been missing out on some sort of close combat Primaris unit. Or jump unit, because I really don't think the drop in points for Death Company Intercessors changes anything. Like, I still don't think we'll see any Death Company Intercessors. I mean, I've actually got, like, let's say 20 Assault Marines from Indomitus that I've never got round to making. And my plan was to make them as Death Company Intercessors, you know, do some conversions on them. I actually bought a box of regular Firstborn Death Company, so I had, like, shoulder pads and helmets and stuff. Speeder Storms can outflank for Zero's... Storms... Yeah. Landspeeder Storms can outflank for 0 CP crit. So I may get a Landspeeder Storm. They are only 55 points. So it is a good way to try and score points for engaging all fronts as well, and or like Relentless Assault, right? Dave, so I may end up buying like 2 more Landspeeders, like another one that's just gonna have a multi-melta and another one that's like the Landspeeder Storm. I'm not super excited about painting all these Landspeeders. And I've already got one that I proxied on Monday, which is like the Tornado. But yeah, we're going to see more Landspeeders, I think. What do you think of the Gravis Chapter Master with Iron Resolve, Angel's Artifice, plus a chapter-specific trait? He goes something like T6 and 9 wounds. Iron Resolve, I guess, will put him on 8 wounds, yeah, with a 6-up shrug. You could then... I would probably put Armor Indomitus on him, because I think getting the advantage of that 3-up save for a single turn is really, really good. I mean, Angel's Artifice puts him in toughness 6, but I don't know if there's a huge difference, Lorenzo, and thank you so much for the $5. I don't know if there's a huge difference between toughness 5 and toughness 6 in a character, right? Because, like, typically the enemy aren't going to be able to shoot your character. I mean, maybe they can. Oh my god, do these doors... Are they supposed to go in first? Mother. I did not realize that. But yeah, I don't think there's a huge difference between toughness 5 and toughness 6 characters. Is that why there's an exclamation mark on the instructions? Like, exclamation, like, it doesn't say, it could have said first. Just got an exclamation mark here. Like, hey, if you don't put the doors on first, you're fucked. Well, great. Great. 70-some people in chat, and no one told me that I was going to be fucked if I didn't put these doors on first. I'm just going to have to cut one side of the little hinges off. It's not like the doors were going to open anyway. Yeah, so I'd probably run them with... I mean, if you run them with Gift of Foresight and Armor Indomitus, and then, like you said, Iron Resolve, you end up with like 9 wounds, toughness 5, potential to get a 3-up save once per game. And... what would you run him with, like, weapon-wise, though? Like, I actually kind of liked what someone said earlier in the stream about, like, master crafting his Boltstorm Gauntlet. Here's a dumb question that I actually don't know. That's why I tried to warn you about the doors. Foz, I am sorry, I missed your message, and now I've got... I'll make it work, Foz, don't worry. We'll make it work. I think we'll make it work. What's I gonna say? Is there a little gap with these doors anyway? Or oh, I see. Okay, yeah. No, we're just gonna take those pegs off and just stick the doors on. Yeah, just clip them out. They'll be fine. Thank you. The problem with the Gravis Captain, the Bite Captain, has most of the same benefits and is better. Yeah, I think the Gravis Captain maybe just gets one more attack over the Bite Captain, right? So I guess like, and the bike captains may be a little bit cheaper. But you know, my question was going to be about the Gravis Captain, right? Because he's got that Bolt Storm Gauntlet, right? And someone talked about mastercrafting the Bolt Storm Gauntlet. Let me bring it up again. Where was it? So if you mastercraft the Bolt Storm Gauntlet, does it only change the profile of like the melee part of the gauntlet? Or does it change the shooting part as well? Because I mean, we could probably go and check the wording, but does someone know off the top of their head how that actually works? Themos says it should apply to the shooting profile as well. It works on one profile, so either the melee profile... Oh, right, so Themos is one way, Reziel says the other way. It seems like people are split, actually, because... Jim says that it also works for both. I actually don't know. I've never really mastercrafted a weapon that has two profiles like that. It's one weapon and you choose and you choose the profile to use. What do you mean? So do both weapons get the +1 damage, I guess? Not that a pistol really with 2 damage really makes that much difference in the grand scheme of things, but what's the actual wording? It was FAQ'd? Okay. Okay, it was FAQ'd, Willis. And I guess if you read I have obviously not read what people were saying in Discord, or I wouldn't be asking this question. What was the final verdict? Like, what do people say? What are people saying about it? What do they think? Which way round does it work? DTM, get on here and finalize the argument. DTM does know a lot of the rules, we'll give him that, won't we? Here's the official FAQ stating that mastercrafted light relics apply to all profiles. Okay. That's cool. I mean, that's a little bit more interesting, right? Just a little. I mean, you're not going to do a whole heap of damage with a 3-shot pistol, but I guess every shot kills a marine though, right? Alright, Reziel is going to look it up, so we'll know soon enough. But yeah, I can't get upset about new rules that give Marines more attacks, right? Because I do feel like we're underpowered. I hope that that's not all that the new codex is going to bring, like a few extra attacks here and there. Like, I feel like we need some more tools in terms of like some of these other races and armies just have so many ways to, you know, I guess the Custodes battle was just crazy where it was like everything I was trying to do. Trying to reroll some hits, no you don't. Trying to wound with +1 to wound, no you don't. I feel like there was someone else I was trying to do and it's like, no you don't. It's just like, they just have so many counters for things. What are your thoughts on Adeptus Custodes after fighting them? My thoughts is that they are horrific right now, and I think the only way you beat them is with Null Zone. I don't like you either beat Custodes with Weight of Fire or Null Zone, and like I don't know if we have the Weight of Fire. Like those bikes are horrific with the transhuman and stuff. So I think Null Zone is the way to beat the Custodes 100%. If you don't have null zone, I think it will be a very difficult fight. I'm not looking forward to fighting them again anyway. What do you think of Bolt Storm or Flamers are better on aggressors, says Justin. So Justin, I actually own 6 Bolt Storm aggressors because I built them last edition when bolters on aggressors were really good. And now, in my opinion, they're total shit, and Flamers are what you should have. So my opinion is Flamers are just better on aggressors than the Bolt Storms, 100%. Maybe bolters will get good again, but they used to. There was 2 rules last edition. There was like they could advance, and what was it? It was like they could advance and not take the penalty for -1 to shooting or something, which obviously doesn't even affect the Flamers because Flamers don't need to hit rolls. And then the second thing was used to be able to stand still with the aggressors and fire twice. So that was really good with the bolters because you had more range than the Flamers. But yeah, those 2 things that got removed, and as such, I think the Flamers are just way better. So, and unfortunately, of course, my painted and finished aggressors are all bolter aggressors. Bolter aggressors are amazing in Ultramarines. They were even better last edition for Ultramarines. Ever thought about putting together an army showcase? Yeah, I would love to. That's what I was saying earlier in the stream. I want to actually make a new video with all my stuff together. I'll make it into like a new channel trailer because the channel trailer that's on this channel right now is like super dated. A lot has changed since I started this channel, so I wanted to make a new channel trailer slash like a showcase of everything that I've got. I'm just finding it difficult to do right now with my like less than 2-month-old baby. So at some point it'll probably be the summer. I would like to do it before then, but I just don't think I'll get time. So at some point, probably in the summer when I've got like some time off from my day job, because obviously I still have to work like 45 hours a week on my day job. When I'm not doing that, I will I'll make a channel trailer showing off all my army and units and stuff. Aggressors need to get their advanced rule back. Yeah, I mean, aggressors completely fell out of the meta when they changed those rules, didn't they? Aggressors were very common. I actually used them a lot in my Blood Angels army list, and then they just completely fell out. You could get advanced and shoot without penalty for advancing. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, and that was kind of nice. I mean, I didn't think it was that powerful because I mean, the aggressor's guns are only strength 4, 0 AP. It's not like it was game breaking. How do we like the styles? Says Burgosaurus. I mean, we talked about it a bit earlier in the stream, Burgosaurus. I think the styles in general seem decent. We're talking a lot about maybe mastercrafting that bolt gauntlet to give him a 3 damage weapon as well, because he does get a lot of attacks. But you know, it comes back to the fact that the bike captain can kind of do the same things, and he's a little bit cheaper. So I think we did like a poll in the chat to see who actually liked the Gravis Captain. I think it was one guy. So for the most part, I guess people don't really hate him, but he's probably not going to see a lot of play as Blood Angels, I would guess. Trying to figure out a triple librarian list to deal out null zone and still have enough psyker to survive against 1000k Suns and Grey Knights. Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty tricky. 3 psychers. I mean, I guess you got Firstborn Librarian, you got Mephiston, and you got Librarian Dreadnought or something. Can't remember the last time. I can't remember if I've ever run 3 psychers. Okay, DTM has said that, so although it applies to both, only one profile gets the +1 damage. You can't transhuman the bike. That's true, but in some ways, I guess, like if the bike advances, you can play -1 to hit on the bike. So in some ways, it's kind of similar. If you're running If you are running like a bike captain though, you're toughness 5, so you're never really getting wounded on 2s anyway. It's only ever 3s, right? There's not that much stuff is going to hit him with strength 10 or above. Good afternoon from Vegas, Dave Pikey. How are you? Are you getting ready for LVO? I believe that there's a stream tomorrow, right? Make sure the flaps on the tail are on the back. The flaps on the tail are on the back. What have I done wrong now, Rezio? What am I missing? The instructions are shit, by the way. I missed something? Oh, geez, this has actually got... It can't have. What? Oh, wow. This sprue actually has little Blood Angel tokens on it? What? We never see... I was looking at the instructions thinking that must be a mistake. What? What the fuck are these? Why do we, why don't we get these on, new sprues? This is cool. What's that? Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Wolves, and Ultramarines. Wow. I did not realize that these were even on the sprues because I didn't look at the sprues that seriously, but that's cool, right? Where am I putting one of them? The Gravis combat styles is a step in the right direction. I would like to see special characters, certain weapons of multiple attack. Do you know what? That's something that... You're right, Willis. There is, like, every army we fight against now, every army we fight against now, it feels like their characters have weapons with multiple profiles. You know, it's like we can do a sweep attack and get like 2, you know, the wording's usually like, if you make an attack with this weapon, every attack counts as 2 or something, you know, like, and like loads of enemy armies, I feel like, have this ability to get like multiple profiles on their weapons, and like none of our stuff has that. And like, I guess it would be really nice if Marines could get something to bring us in line, and it's just the versatility that it brings, where it's like, okay, I could do sweep attacks and get like 5 extra attacks or something, but like, you know, because I'm just killing Poxwalker. I always use Poxwalkers as an example. I guess they're a good example of a horde unit that you just munch through, right? Blood Angels Commander, I'm turning 35. Yeah, I'm Danish, so I'm an hour ahead of you. I only play Blood Angels, purists may say. I only play Blood Angels at the moment, Awakened Sheep as well. And I visited Denmark, actually, in 1992. And I know it was 1992 because you guys won the European Championships in 1992. And I got the Peter Schmeichel goalkeeper jersey. So I've been to Denmark. It's a nice country. I actually have a friend that works in Denmark right now who I see time to time. Used to go to school with, but congrats on 35. Couple of years behind me, but not too far. So yeah, in some ways, I still have that jersey. I looked on eBay because like it's a pretty popular jersey, the Danish goalkeeper jersey from 1992. Save the tokens, get some blue stuff, and get them into a mold. I mean, that's a cool idea. Someone said those emblems are for when GW cared about the other factions. I sanded off the emblems for the bonnet and put the Blood Angel one right center. Huh, that's not a bad idea. I may also use them on like a super heavy tank. Don't get me started on weapons with sweep modes. I'm still crying that my Demon Prince can't sweep their sword for some reason. Alright, how does this thing fit on here? Does it go on the... This? Ah, right, okay. I don't think I've ever had a Landspeeder like this, honestly. Well, I haven't. I've never had a Landspeeder like this. I did it... I guess, like, back when I played in 4th and 3rd edition, attack bikes were still really good, so, like, I got 3 attack bikes, and my attack bikes are from, like, 20 years ago. I got 3 attack bikes, and that was pretty much all the fire support I ran in my Blood Angels army. So yeah, I've never had a Landspeeder. What even is this? Is it just some sort of random antennae? Who's going to LVO? Says Dave Pikey. I'm not sure. It's kicking off tomorrow, though. There's a stream, right? Commander Shank, +1 to hit. What was the question about +1 to hit? Apparently sweeping a weapon is something Dante hasn't learned in the 1500 years he's been a Space Marine. Burgosaurus recently got rid of his 3 Landspeeders. That has got to suck. Oh, that antenna is the targeting array to give the Whirlwind +1 to hit. I see. Well, that makes perfect sense. I mean, I run the Whirlwind all the time, so... I mean, it doesn't do any damage ever, but I mean, it'd be cool to get +1 to hit, I guess. It'll help on those double ones when I need to suppress something for the number of shots, right? And that actually happened this week, double 1 on the number of shots when I needed to suppress a target, so I think my luck in that Custodes game was pretty rubbish. I clipped off the antenna, it's easier to hide behind terrain. Dracula doesn't even own one. I think the pokey thing is the thing that makes the Whirlwind hit better. Seems to be you guys know your lore or know your targeting arrays, I guess. Cool. Now we'll know for when someone asks me on stream. Last time I built a Landspeeder, it was made of metal. Yeah, I remember those old... was that the first Landspeeder that was like sort of open top? That was a proper... I was going to say, it's a proper bastard to put together, I think. I mean, this one hasn't been the easiest, that's for sure. Who'd have thought those dust collectors would get play? That's why I don't sell anything, Burgosaurus. I have lots of models that just have sat for editions and editions and editions, and then one day it's like, oh wow, Games Workshop actually changed the rules. I have like a Predator tank that like I painted when I was about 10 years old that's horrifically painted, and I've just left it. I stripped a lot of my old models, but the Predator was one that I left because I was like, maybe they'll make Predators good. Maybe it'll be worth painting this. Maybe it'll be worth keeping this thing. It's a flying couch. Yeah, it kind of looks like a flying couch, doesn't it? You can't transhuman the bikes for Custodes. Your friend lied. Why can't you transhuman the bikes? I'm pretty sure it just says you can. Anyone else got the Custodes Codex? DTM, you were pretty good on the rules. Thank you so much for subscribing, Gregory Cully. I appreciate it. We're getting up close to 9,000 subscribers, which is going to be pretty dope when we hit that. And 9,000 subscribers is actually going to tie into the next giveaway on the channel, so I kind of have an idea for the next giveaway. Why are you switching to Landspeeders? Because attack bikes don't score engage on all fronts anymore unless it's squads of 3. So if you're bringing a single attack bike, you cannot get any engage on all front points, Dracula, which I really dislike, but I mean, I'm not as dirty meta chaser as Andrew, but I'm competitive enough where like I'm not gonna, for 10 points more, it needs to have the vehicle keyword, I guess. The bikes don't, unless you want to run 3 bikes, but then you're 180 points, so it doesn't make sense. Looks like a sci-fi croc, says Brock Sampson. Good evening, Brock. How you doing? I'm not sure we've met before. Thanks for tuning in tonight. How you doing? You can only do it with the bikes if you've got a squad of 3 because they don't have the vehicle keyword anymore. So previously in the tournament that I went to, well, I went to 2 tournaments this year. Both times I went 4 wins, 1 loss. And both times it was the final game, so I was playing someone else in both times that was basically like 4 wins, 1 loss as well. 4 wins, 0 losses as well. So I fucked up my last 2 games in both tournaments, which is frustrating, but it happens. And one of my tactics was to bring in attack bikes from reserve in board quadrants, sometimes to score engage on all fronts, sometimes to snipe an enemy character, because you remember, if the character is not within 3 inches of another model and it is the closest enemy, you can essentially try and snipe it with an attack bike with a multi-melta. You know, if one shot goes through, you potentially just instantly vaporize a character. being a reserve, you can always bring it in within 9 inches of the characters, or within 12 inches, you know, like 9 away, but within 12. So your multi-melta gets the +2 damage. So if you do wound with either shot, it's a minimum of 3 damage. With a decent roll, like a 3-up, you pretty much vaporize any character that's 5 wounds or less. So that's a completely valid tactic. It can work pretty well. So now, if you want to bring in a single attack bike, you're no longer going to score any engage in all fronts points. So I guess you have to lose the Stormbolter that the attack bike gets, and you got to pay 10 more points to take a Landspeeder. I'm not really sure that needed to be changed, but it's been changed nonetheless. The Landspeeder has 2 more wounds and 1 more toughness, so it's probably a decent trade-off. Like, the Landspeeder's probably going to linger around for an extra turn, and it's got an 18-inch move, so you could probably move it from one board quadrant to the other pretty easily. You can also move it towards an enemy character and make them the closest target, so you can just shoot them, you know, so they can't do lookout sir and stuff. So I think that based on all those things, you kind of need to just get a Landspeeder together, I guess. So that's what I'm doing, and I think I may buy a Landspeeder Storm. I think I'm probably going to buy a Landspeeder Storm, just because it's a nice cheap 55 points, and again, you could sneak it into a list if you've got 55 points left. And the Landspeeder Storm actually has 7 wounds and toughness 6, so even 1 more wound on there, just to make things interesting. And I think I'm going to buy 1 more Landspeeder. So I'll have 2 Landspeeders that can take multi-meltas, and I'll have the Landspeeder Storm. I don't really want to have to buy a 4th Landspeeder. I think that would be enough. I think that would give me options based on the points and stuff. I got a photo of all the rules in the new Crusade Custodes book, and that one definitely allows the bikes to get transhuman. Yeah, I think the transhuman on the bikes is valid. I had a Typhoon as a teenager with the metal rocket pods that was a nightmare for tipping over. Yeah, all those old metal Landspeeders were like a liability, where it was only a matter of time from when you built them to that they got destroyed. They destroyed themselves, I guess. Right? Should I stick? I think I'll stick the guys inside before I try and put this little shield thing on here. So we get some bodies next. I'm not really convinced by Landspeeder Storms. I just don't see the point. The point, I guess, Reziel, is that they're 15 points less than a regular Landspeeder. So if you only got those 55 points at the end of your list, you could fit them in, whereas you might not be able to fit in another Landspeeder. And you do get to outflank for free, so you do get to they're basically in strategic reserve for no CP. So it's kind of a double whammy. It means if you had 1 Storm and 1 regular one, you could probably put like the Storm plus like a squad of Assault Intercessors, which I usually run, into reserve for 1 CP. The other Landspeeder goes into reserve for free because it's got the outflank ability, and then you've got like 2 or 3 ways of potentially scoring your engage in all fronts, right? I definitely don't think you need to rush out to buy a ton of Storms. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to rush out and buy anything, but I think I am going to have 3 Landspeeders over the course of this year. You know, I have 3 of fucking everything else, and like, you know, like I was saying earlier with aggressors. So I have like a squad of aggressors that never get played. I have 2 squads of Hellblasters that never get played. I have like 4 squads of intercessors that never get played, and these things are all painted and in the cupboard or whatever. So I mean, I guess now I'm gonna have 3 attack bikes that sit in the cupboard and never get played. So that's the way this hobby goes sometimes. I do always think what goes around comes around, so there will be a time that they'll come back, but I guess that time is not now. If you build the dudes and things, I mean, yeah, I don't tend to do sub-assemblies, but yeah, I mean, sub-assemblies can make things like a lot easier. Oh, excuse me. Did anybody watch the new episode of Boba Fett last night? because I really enjoyed it. Just throwing that out there. Poor Stormspeeder with its brother Tinnitus will never be useful. The Stormspeeder is an interesting one. It went down 15 points, right? You have the units ready for when the meta changes. Andrew has whole armies ready for each meta shift in the Codex. You're right, Pogger. Andrew does have whole armies. I believe on Monday night he's bringing 9 of the same knights and 1 giant knight. Red spray, then just paint on gold and black. Yeah, that is true. I do fancy that new Gravis Captain. I think I'll get him. I don't think I'm going to get him right now because I'm going to be busy with Landspeeders and nonsense like that. But I do like the look of him. I think he could be cool if he was sprayed gold and then painted almost like similar armor to like a Dante or Sanguine Guard. I think that would be quite cool for him. Oops. Themos, if they just made Dante's jump pack move over 13 inches, I would shut up about it. For there is something instead of shitting on Dante every time they update the Codex. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they shit on Dante when they updated the Codex. I think what they did is they neglected all the Blood Angels characters. They just left them with their 8th edition rules. Or in some cases they actually made their rules worse, like the Sanguinar. I just don't know if they had a clear direction. I think that's probably it. I just don't think they had a clear direction for what they wanted to do with the rules. And as such, we got sort of like averagey rules, middle of the road rules, whatever you want to call it. Whereas like for some of the newer codexes, they've obviously had like a clear direction, like this is going to be the faction that's just shit hot at doing this one thing. We don't care if it's overpowered, we're just going to make them shit hot at doing this one thing. And I mean, that's fine and all, but at the same time, a little bit annoying. I'm going to go into my bits box, I think, in a minute and see if I have any Blood Angel shoulder pads for this. Am I going to do that, or I'm going to save them for something else? I feel like I've definitely got a Blood Angel's helmet that I could use. Might even use a Sanguinary Guard helmet for one of these guys, just to help me differentiate the squad. Sometimes I use like different helmets. Is it a coincidence that the only good episode of Boba Fett basically doesn't have either Boba or Fennec in it? I liked some of the episodes on Boba Fett. Don't be so mean, Rezio. I'm excited about all the Star Wars content they're putting out on Disney Plus this year. I mean, after the new movies taking it down like a step and just being a little bit more chilled about the Star Wars content seems to be the way forward, because those new movies were not the greatest, really. As hard as a score on all fronts seems now, do you think taking Mephiston or Librarian Dread and doing the Linus Psychic Ritual secondary is worth trying? Yeah, they changed something with that, where you don't need line of sight now, you just need to be within 18 inches. Is that right? Duster? I obviously don't have chapter approved in front of me yet. I think they've changed psychic interrogation, so it's just like if you're within 18 inches of the enemy, you can psychic interrogate, right? Just paint the helmets yellow, says Rezio. Do you know what? Now that you've mentioned that, I might actually have a cool beaky helmet I could use, Rezio. I think you actually hate beak helmets. I think it was you that hated them. Somebody hates beak helmets. I think I have a cool beak helmet. My iPad decided it wanted to update. Yeah, do you know what? I was wondering if my phone would decide to. Apparently there's a new version of iOS tonight. So, and the camera that I'm using right here to film this is my iPhone. So I'm half expecting my iPhone to shut down and decide that it's going to try and film something, I guess. So this joystick this guy's holding, does this attach to the console somewhere? Is it supposed to? Okay, I kind of see how it's supposed to. Yeah, okay. If you're looking for helmets, I swapped out some Eradicator spares. I've got a lot of helmets. Some people on here actually sent me a bunch before Dutster, but I really appreciate it. Yellow helmets for Landspeeders. Maybe one day either Tycho will be retired or replaced with a future Blood Angels. I think Tycho needs to be retired. It's almost a running joke at this point that he's still in there. And I mean, it's fine to have a running joke, but like, at this point, like, he's got 2 data sheets. He's got like non-Death Company Tycho and then like Death Company Tycho. Here's the thing, if they want to keep Tycho in the book, I'd actually not have a problem with it if they put Sanguinius in the book. And I know some people will be like, whoa, Sanguinius is dead. Well, Tycho's been dead since the War for Armageddon, which is... I don't even know when the War for Armageddon is, because I'm not a big lore guy. But like, I've been playing this hobby for like 20 years, and he was dead 20 years ago, so like, surely, you know, they've advanced the story heaps since then, right? So like, when is Tycho actually, like, where we are in the story now, like with the Vigilus campaign and stuff coming on, anyone in here, does anyone in here know how many years ago the Armageddon War when Tycho was dead happened? You know, like, because that's kind of my point. Like, if Tycho is, what the hell is this arm supposed to attach to? Like the console somehow? Well, that's not fiddly at all. I guess. 24 inches, no line of sight. They've changed it to go 24 inches. Well, I mean, psychic interrogation sounds a little bit more attractive, but I guess, like, if you do a psychic action, you can't do any other psychic powers, right? Like, you can't... Can you cast another psychic? I thought a psychic action, like, ended your psychic phase with that character. Like, I didn't think you could do another action on top of the psychic action. I mean, Unleash Rage is good. It is a good power. I like Unleash Rage. On a decent-sized Sanguinary Guard or a Death Company, like, you get a good amount of attacks out of Unleash Rage. I like beakies, I just don't spam them. That's fair enough. I only put all beaks on my incursors because I hate the incursor helmets. I hate the sort of half-face thing that they have. You want a cheap psyker? Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do it with someone like Cotiez, right? He's only 95 points. And I guess Cotiez's other power is nice because it can just gain command points. I kind of want to make it Primaris Tycho just for fun. Chris, you're a sadist, I guess. Tycho died 998M41. What does that mean, Willis? Like 998 years into Millennium 41? Or... Because, like, it always said epic war in the 41st millennium. Like, what is the 41st millennium? Is that... We're in the year 2000 now. Is that 41,000? Or is that 410,000? I actually don't know. But if you know when Tycho died, then you're probably the guy that can actually answer this question. I've never been huge on the lore. I did buy a couple of the Blood Angels books recently. But yeah, I've always just tried to kill my friends on the tabletop. That's where I'm at. You're trying to figure it out. Cool. Okay, so, but I mean, I assume at this point it must be like hundreds of years Tycho has been dead. So it's so, well, hundreds of years since he fell to the Death Company. I think that, like, I don't think there was actually a story written there. Like, I think he just fell, and then they said, like, he fell and he led a charge on the orcs, and that was the end of him, right? 998M41 means nothing because Dark Imperium made it canon that the Imperial calendar is completely fucked. I never read Dark Imperium. I've mainly just focused on the Blood Angels books, and then I was doing some of the Horus Heresy books. Yeah, some of these guys are going to be pretty difficult to paint all in like this, but do you know what? Making this guy as a sub-assembly would have actually been a nightmare as well, so not overly worried, I guess. We are in the second millennium in the 21st century. So millennium just means like 1,000 years, right? So when they say 41st millennium, they mean 39,000 years from now. That's a scary amount of time, isn't it? 39,000 years. Could you comprehend that? 39,000 years. So Tycho is probably dead 1+ year for devastation of Baal. Okay, so he's not been dead that long? They haven't advanced the story many years then, since Tycho was dead since like 2nd edition, right? After looking at Inquisitors, I think I'd recommend Draxus. If you want a caster for Interrogate, as her Warlord trait lets her reroll a psychic test every turn, and she has some other good stuff too. Tycho would have been dead for 13 or so years, as well as... Okay. I mean, I figured it would be longer. What knife am I using? A Kitchen Devil. Do you not know of this great hobby brand? It's called Kitchen Devils. I've been using this knife since I stole it out my parents' knife drawer about 25 years ago, probably. And when I stole it, boy, they were pretty pissed. I mean, I don't even know if it was that nice a knife to begin with, but yeah, they were like, "You're using our kitchen knives for your Warhammer nonsense." I was like, yeah, that's, you know, it's important. And I was only like 10, there's no way I would have been allowed like a Stanley knife. I've chopped my fingers multiple times with this knife. It's a good little knife. Works well for what I need it to do. Do you think we'll get Primaris Terminators? I mean, aren't Gravis Primaris Terminators in a way? Just... they've got problems because you can't deep strike them or anything like that? I feel like Gravis or Primaris Terminators. Do you know what? This stream is going to end and I'm going to get no painting done. I did not think it would take me 2 hours to build this thing. I got about 20 more minutes. Let me see if I can find a head. 1 second. Aggressors really look like Terminators. Yeah, it's just... aggressors could probably really use a that's not a knife cliche. Aggressors could probably really use a 3 damage weapon, right? Like a melee weapon, 3 damage melee weapon would really probably... I feel like that would make aggressors much more interesting. A lot of the Blood Angels, a lot of the stuff is 2 damage, I guess, and 2 damage is fine enough. But 2 damage in some ways is kind of weak now, isn't it? I really felt like I had a... I mean, there's a Primaris head. I was gonna say, I really felt like I had a beak head somewhere. That's an aggressor head. What's that? No. I'm gonna open some of these little bags, I guess. Stonehenge was 18,000 BC, so 20,000 years ago. Look how far humanity has come in 20,000 far. How far could we come in the next 20,000 if we don't start a nuclear war? Yeah, I mean, I guess we could come pretty far. We could probably come an incomprehensible amount, to be honest. Like, anything that you think is probably... Anything you think now, anything you dream of can probably be surpassed, you know? I'm sad, I thought I had another beak helmet somewhere. Maybe not. Oh, that's a Death Company one. Oh, there is a beak helmet, look at that! There we go. I thought I had one. I'll just spray over the top of the red, I'm not worried. Oh, shit, don't drop it. Don't drop it. Where'd it go? Ugh. Cool. I'm looking at more anti-tank for my Blood Angels list other than Eradicators that get focused, so I'm trying adding Suppressors. Suppressors are not anti-tank, Justin, and they're not good. I promise you they're not good. They get -1 to hit if they move. You only get 9 shots. They're just 2 wound marines. If you want more anti-tank, you need probably like Redemptor Dreadnoughts, Leviathan Dreadnoughts, Contemptor Dreadnoughts, or probably like Landspeeders with multi-meltas. Yeah, Reziel just said the same. Suppressors are crap. I don't want you to waste your money. If you've already got suppressors, I mean, try them. I tried them like 4 or 5 times on this channel to make them work on like the live army game shows, and they just are not good. They're like the unit that time forgot. Like, Games Workshop made this big deal, like, we're gonna have these Space Marines, they're gonna have autocannons, and yeah, they've got them, but they're just complete shit. I actually don't know how you make them work, period, because I've tried everything. I've tried keeping them around a chapter master so they get to reroll their 1s. I've tried just having them remain stationary so they don't get -1 to hit. I've tried doing both those things. Sorry, my voice is starting to go a bit hoarse. Veterans with hammers over suppressors. I mean, anything that's good. Anything is good over suppressors. Death Company with hammers. Sanguinary Guard with infernal pistols and some swords and stuff. Just, yeah, don't. I've got 6 suppressors and I've spent a lot of time trying to paint them and edge highlight them black because I figured they would be cool black like the Death Company, but they just sit in the drawer. They're a waste of space. I love the look of them. I really think they were going to be cool. I was convinced they were going to be a cool unit. Terminators with Thunderhammers. I mean, I'm running Terminators with Thunderhammers in my current list. In my tournament list, I run Terminators with Chainfists, so I get more on board with Terminators over Suppressors any day of the week, yeah. Take a Redemptor. Put the railing on the dash first. If the railing needs to go on the dash first, it's on the next bloody page, so they don't show that in the instructions, but I will do that, Reziel. Let's try that. The railing on the dash first. Okay. I guess I'll snip the multi-melt off while I'm at it as well. I mean, that glue's probably going to have set by the time I snip these 2 pieces off. I'll maybe try and get this thing sprayed on like Saturday afternoon, and then that way I can do a bit of painting on it on like Saturday night on the stream. Oh no, I just dropped that bit. Fuck. I don't see it at all. Alright, I have to go and climb around on the floor for a minute. Where the fuck did I go? I pushed my chair out of the way and I heard a slight crunching sound, so I think I ran over it. Doesn't look too bad. It's the worst when you drop these tiny little bits, isn't it? I'm gonna run a rapier quad bolter at a GTM going in 2 weeks because 12 heavy bolters for 75 points. Why the hell not? The quad bolter is it's not super survivable, is it? It's probably not got core either. The multi-metal rests on top of the railing, so don't let that part set. Okay, I think I got lucky because I'm pretty sure I heard some sort of crunching noise when I went over it with the chair. Pull those arms off before they set. I tried to... Do you know what? They're not too set yet. They're getting that way. I'll just tilt them up and I'll try and quickly get clean up this multi-melter. Thanks for tuning in tonight, Chris. Hope you have a good night. I got a new tactics video coming out tomorrow about lunchtime UK time, so if you guys want to watch the tactics video tomorrow and hit the like button on it or share it with a friend, that sort of thing, that's always super appreciated. So yeah, that's coming out tomorrow. Yeah, probably about 1 o'clock. It's all done. I think you'll enjoy it. I think it's a good video. But I mean, like I said, I was having to rush my videos production a little bit at the moment because my 2-month-old baby isn't giving me as much time as I would like. Your shoulder pads are going to be harder to attach with all that other stuff on. The shoulder pads are going to be impossible to attach. So the multi-metal just sits on his hands, right? Like it would just be something like this? Like it doesn't really feel perfect, but just something like that. Suppressors wouldn't be bad if they could take better weapons. Yeah, suppressors really just have been the strangest unit ever because they made such a big deal about them. And then when they actually came out, they were terrible because they only got 6 shots, and they upped them to 9 shots, but I still think they're kind of terrible, so I really don't know how you're supposed to make suppressors work. It's supposed to be straight, that multi-melt, I guess. Yeah, it would be better if it was straight, wouldn't it? Okay, so shoulder pads onto the guy, and then I think am I kind of done, or is there a few bits left to do? What's missing? So I've put on the multi-melt, I've put on this bit. These are the Typhoon launcher bits, so I'm not putting them on, I don't think. I've got these little things that I could put on. There's this one thing for underneath, maybe? It's just a light underneath because we're not attaching a gun to it, right? So it's just this little light thing, and that's it done? I think? What about Plasma Inceptors over the Suppressors? 100%. Yeah, Plasma Inceptors are not a bad unit at all. Good damage. Can arrive from deep strike and don't have the move and shoot penalty. Can get +1 to hit when they arrive from deep strike. I don't run Plasma Inceptors all that much myself. I have run them. But yeah, a lot of people do run them. They're a lot better. Suppressors are fundamentally flawed in design because there are fast units that's penalized for moving. Yeah, I mean that is 100% what they are. They have really good range. I think if they could move, they would. If they could move, they'd be okay. But you just moving them makes them even like they're already not that reliable. I feel like, and then you move them and they're just super unreliable. Do Space Marines even need lights? I mean, that's a good question, but I mean, we've got a light. I actually don't know where this attaches to. Where's this supposed to attach to? Yeah, I have no idea how that's supposed to attach to that. So I definitely snip off the right bit. This kit has been more of a challenge than I thought it would be. I remember the other Landspeeder that I've got. I remember it being a bit of a nightmare, but yeah. Oh, that only goes on the Tornado variant, so I don't need it? I missed the bottles off the top of the multi-melta. Well, it's not often multi-meltas come in two parts, okay. Let me check that in a second. I'm wondering if that will fit in there. It's just too big, isn't it? Alright, so we don't need the light. We need bottles for the multi-melta. Where the hell are the bottles for the multi-melta? Alright, I see them. Thanks for pointing that out, I would have completely missed that. The instructions are old and crap. Yeah, this is an old kit. It's been in it. I think the person, like, I got this kit from Kev. You guys know Kev. He's on the Plastic Crackheads channel. He had a bunch of Marine stuff that I guess he'd given up on, so we traded. I gave him all my Eldar. And he gave me a bunch of Space Marine kits, and this was one of the kits that he gave me, and he actually gave me a Ball Predator as well. And that Ball Predator is half made. I was waiting for them to decide if they were going to make the Flamestorm variants any good, and if I could actually run a Flamestorm. Well, I'm just gonna put this bit here because it's like it's almost midnight and I got work tomorrow, so I kind of just want to finish this, and then I won't get another chance until Saturday night. So try and spray it on Saturday afternoon, and then we'll get some paint on it on Saturday night. It won't be the most fun stream ever because I guess we'll just be putting like base color red on this entire thing. I don't know how I'm going to get that shoulder pad in there. It's going to be a challenge, isn't it? Come on, there we go. Look at that. That's what this knife is good for. You made fun of this knife earlier. Look at that. That was easy, wasn't it? Booyah. There we go. Alright. Technically, we made fun of you for using the knife. That's fine. I could... I mean... It wouldn't be... I mean... It probably wouldn't be a BAC stream if someone didn't make fun of me, right? For hiding behind all the walls on the terrain, or... Someone actually put a comment on Monday night's video against the Custodes and said, "This is the slowest game ever." And I replied to the comment and said, "Yeah, you try fighting against fucking 12 multi-meltas with rerolls to hit and wound and D3 plus 3 damage and 44-inch threat range. Then tell me if I was playing slowly," because like, I was like, how the fuck do I even fight against this, you know? Good night, Awoken Sheet. Thanks for hanging out. Happy birthday. Thanks for everybody else just sticking through and watching me. I mean, it wasn't the greatest kit. It really wasn't, and I think I'm gonna have to buy a couple more. But there we go. That's one Landspeeder down. I am gonna call it. I wanted to do some painting tonight, but we've run out of time, and I gotta go to work tomorrow. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow for a new tactics video coming out about lunchtime, so about 12 hours from now. If you enjoy tomorrow's tactics video, please leave a like on it. It's super appreciated. Now that you're in a warm house, you can tease about the gloves. Yeah, you know, it's January and I'm not wearing gloves. It's a miracle. I just put my speeder together 20 years ago. It looks like trash. Yeah. That speeder is not a noob-friendly kit. Let's just leave it at that. We are going to have merch soon, though. Like, when we get to 10,000 subscribers, we can have Blood Angels Commander merchandise. So, if anyone has suggestions for stuff, leave it into me in Discord. But I think I am going to commission, like, an original t-shirt that says it needs more Sandguard, because I love that. And we'll maybe see if someone can draw me a little... Oh, what's the actor's name? You know the actor I'm talking about. Foo Fighters, that's how he speaks. Christopher Walken, right? But yeah, have a good night, guys. I will see you tomorrow, and then Saturday night we'll probably be painting this. I guess I'll decide if I'm buying 2 more of them. A Storm and do you know what, we'll probably proxy a Storm on Monday night. That's what we'll do. We'll proxy the Storm on Monday night, Reziel, and then we'll find out if we feel it's any good. We are up against Andrew's 50 night list or whatever it is, so that'll be interesting. Alright, have a great night, guys. Thank you again for watching. I will catch you on probably Saturday night, and by the blood are we made strong. Peace.